Have a real nice tempo. Goes baseline, watch out. Oh, my! Oh, baby! All the way down the runway for a big-time throwdown.
Fight Week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights, even before the bell rings.
I hope you guys enjoy this fight as much as I will.
That's a lot of fans out there.
Look at that! The drama keeps continuing, Jenny.
This is just brilliant.
This is boxing. This is life. It's not joking.
No politics, no fluff, just first to glory and a little bit of history. Cheers to that.
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on DAZN.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
DAZN is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going. Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
And you were looking at the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida, where on Saturday, Matchroom Boxing is back for another fight night here in Central Florida, headlined by a terrific heavyweight matchup featuring Lenier Pero and Jordan Thompson. Here with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, you've had a good run here in Florida, got some sun, got some golf in. It's kind of become a home away from home for you.
Yeah, we love the Caribe Royale. It's been the home of so many DAZN events, not just with Matchroom, but with MVP as well. And it's a great setup. You know, a really interesting fight card. One that you wouldn't necessarily put together. A brilliant heavyweight fight with a lot of ramifications for the world rankings, particularly with the WBA. And Jordan Thompson rolling the dice, first fight after challenging for the Cruiserweight World title against a guy that many feel, in Lenier Pero, could become heavyweight world champion and the first Cuban to do so.
One of the big reasons that we are here in Orlando is because of Amari Jones, the Orlando native, fighting for the fourth time as a professional, 3-0 in his young career. All 3 wins have come by knockout. What have you made of your young prospect?
I mean, been faultless. I mean, in and out of the ring. He's the perfect role model for young athletes, not just boxers from this country. He's a real golden boy of amateur boxing in the United States, of course, and a medalist at the Olympics in Paris. And really, like I said, just not put a foot wrong so far in the professional ranks. Something we didn't necessarily expect to see him bring to the pro game was the power. You know, all of those wins coming inside the distance, look very heavy-handed. This time a different kind of test. We've gone for someone that will bank him rounds, hopefully. Someone that's coming to win. Was taking a lot of top prospects, the distance over 10 rounds. Let's see if Amari can get him out of there.
And Pat Brown, another prospect of yours, 4-0 in his career, making his U.S. debut for this fight. Every time I see you, Eddie, you're talking to me about Pat Brown.
Yeah, I'm really high on this guy. I think that Pat Brown, you know, when you talk about British prospects, I think he's the #1 right now. When you talk about worldwide prospects, I think he's a world cruiserweight in waiting. What I love about this is 4 fights in, already the US debut comes, the first 10-round fight, and fighting a guy in Felix Valera, who's a former world champion at 175, lost on points to Dimitri Bivol, just took Tristan Calruth, Golden Boy's top cruiserweight prospect, I think 16-1, a good hard 10 rounds, Pat's different. Pat's got different kind of power. The left hook is one to look out for. Expect to see this man go through the division very quickly.
All right, the main event, you've got Jordan Thompson stepping up to the heavyweight division to take on Lenier Pero. When I saw Jordan Thompson walking around this week, my first question was, how the hell did that guy make the cruiserweight division? 6'6", looked like he put on a lot of weight going into this fight. Well, how are you feeling about his chances here?
Listen, it's, like he said yesterday, a very calculated risk. I mean, look, when you move up to the heavyweight division, normally you'd embed yourself with a couple of 8-rounders and a couple of good wins. He's looked at Pero. He's looked at the fact that probably his ranking is lofty in comparison to the opposition that he's faced. And Jordan Thompson's saying, I think I can beat him. And if I beat him, I'm going to gate-crash the division and move into the top 3 in the world in the heavyweight game. So, you know, the difference is he's not depleting himself anymore at cruiserweight. He's huge. He's going to be probably 240, 250 pounds up there. And that's a massive, massive change in weight. He's always been a big puncher. He's always had great speed. If he can carry that resilience up at heavyweight now with the new weight, Pero's going to have his hands full.
Yeah, I think you got a lot of potential firefights on this card. That main event is one of them. Did you beat Ian Poulter yesterday?
We actually took it down the last all square. Yeah, I did give him a shot at Hull, which was... He did play 7 Ryder Cups. So.
Did he ask about me?
He did actually, yeah. He was saying, how's Chris Mannix? He says a lot of people criticise Chris Mannix's scoring. I think he's one of the best judges in the game.
I'm glad. I appreciate that from you. All right, we've got a 5-fight card here in Orlando at the Caribe Royale, and it begins with Nishan Dev, 2024 Olympian, also starting his pro career. He takes on Juan Carlos Campos. Yoelvis Gomez, he takes on Atrevius Ingram. That is a terrific fight in the super welterweight division. You just heard Eddie talking about Pat Brown, a talented cruiserweight. He takes on Felix Valera, who gave Tristan Kalkruth hell in his last time out. Amari Jones, he is back in Orlando, taking on Yusuf Metu. And in the main event, Lenier Pero, Cuban heavyweight, he takes on Jordan Thompson, who is looking to become a contender in the heavyweight division. All right, without further ado, let's go up to the stage and throw it to David Diamante.
All right, thank you, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Halloween and welcome to the beautiful city of Orlando, Florida, USA, for the official weigh-in for a big night of world-class professional boxing taking place here tomorrow night. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Bet Online, Caribe Royale, Drip, Events 365, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Puncher's Chance, Riyadh Season, and Everlast. And, of course, all the action go out live around the world exclusively on DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fight card. We have 7 fights on the card. We've got 2 title fights, and at the top of the bill, we got the heavyweights, Thompson versus Pero. It's a great fight, and I can't wait to see it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the fighters up to the stage so they can face the scale and face each other. Our first contest, 6-round super welterweights, now making his way to the stage, peleando desde Lago de Morena, Jalisco, Mexico. Professional record 4-2 with 3 knockouts. Please welcome Juan Carlos Campo Medina. Campo Medina. And his opponent, he's a southpaw, now making his way to the stage. Young professional record, perfect. 3 fights, 3 victories, with 2 of them coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Haryana, India. Please welcome Nishan, the Devastator Dev. Fighters, face the scales. $156 for Campos Medina and $154.4 for Nishan Dev. Fighters face each other.
Nishan Dev looking for his 4th win as a professional, 2024 Olympian out of India. Got some history, too, with Amari Jones fighting on this undercard. These two have fought a few times.
This is Dev versus Campo Medina, 6-round super welterweights, Matchroom Boxing, in association with Box Lab Promotions and Paco presents live on DAZN from the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida. The weigh-in continues, ladies and gentlemen, with the first of our 2 title fights as Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, in association with Box Lab Promotions and Undisputed Promotions, are proud to present 10 rounds for the WBA Continental America's Super Welterweight Championship. And now making his way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. Professional record, perfect. 12 fights, 12 victories, 6 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Kissimmee, Florida, please welcome the undefeated knockout king of Kissimmee and Travius, Yams Ingram. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. Professional record, 9 victories against 1 defeat. 7 of his 9 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Havana, Cuba. He is the reigning and defending WBA Continental America Super Welterweight Champion, Yoelvis La Joya Gomez. Fighters, face the scales. 153.2 for Ingram, 153.2. And we have 154 bang on. That's the super welterweight limit for Gomez. Fighters face each other.
Yoelvis Gomez, once considered a very good prospect, took a loss at 160 pounds. Now he's down at 154, hoping to make a statement in this division.
Gomez versus Ingram. We've got 10 rounds for the WBA Continental America Super Welterweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing in association with Box Lab Promotions and Undisputed Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, the weigh-in continues with a 10-round cruiserweight contest. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 24 victories, 8 defeats, 21 of his 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Villa Agricola, Santo Domingo, República Dominicana. Please welcome Felix Mangu Valera. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His young professional record is perfect. 4 fights, 4 victories, all 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 2-time amateur national champion from the UK, the 2024 Olympian fighting out of Sale, Manchester, England. Please welcome the hard-hitting, undefeated Patrick, the Bomber Brown. Fighters face the scales. .202 for Valera, 202. We've got 203 for Brown, 203. Fighters face each other.
A lot of excitement within Matchroom about the future of Pat Brown. 4-0, 4 knockouts. But Felix Valera, he is not just here to collect a paycheck. Gave Tristan Kalkruth a hell of a run just back in April. He's gone the distance with a lot of good fighters.
Brown versus Valera, 10 rounds, cruiserweights, Matchroom Boxing in association with Box Lab Promotions, live on DAZN from Orlando, Florida. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to now weigh in the chief support of the evening. We've got a 6-round super welterweight contest. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 12 victories, 2 defeats, 9 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Please welcome Yusuf, Mr. Mwanza Metu. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, young professional record, perfect, 3-0, all 3 wins by knockout. We're talking about the 2024 Olympic bronze medalist fighting out of right here in Orlando, Florida, Omari Banger Jones. Fighters, face the scales. 153.6 for Metu, 153.6, 152.8 for Jones. Fighters face each other.
Omari Jones looking for his 4th professional win. He's going to get a test here with Metu, who's brought in mostly for his durability. He's been the 10-round distance several times. See if Omari Jones has the power to get another fighter out of there.
Jones versus Metu, 6-round super welterweights, Matchroom Boxing in association with Box Lab Promotions, live on DAZN from Orlando, Florida. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, happy Halloween and welcome to the beautiful Caribe Royale here in Orlando, Florida, USA, for the official weigh-in for a big night of world-class professional boxing taking place here tomorrow night. And it's now time to weigh in the main event of the evening. As Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing, in association with Box Lab Promotions, are proud to present 10 rounds for the WBA Continental Heavyweight Championship. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 15 victories, 1 defeat, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former IBF European Cruiserweight Champion, the practitioner of artistic violence. He fights out of Manchester, England, troublesome Jordan Thompson. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, professional record, perfect. 12 fights, 12 victories, with 8 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 2016 Olympian, ranked number 3 in the world by the WBA, peleando desde Camagüey, Cuba. Please welcome El Invicto, El Justiciero, Lenier Pero. Check. Fighters, face the scales. .238 for Thompson, 238 for Jordan Thompson. 242.2 for Lenier Pero, 242.2. Fighters face each other.
238 pounds for Jordan Tom. This is a man that 2 years ago last fought at the cruiserweight division, 200-pound limit. I love this fight. A lot of power between both these guys, a lot of knockouts. Don't blink. This one is not going the distance. Pero undefeated, many consider to be one of the future stars of the heavyweight division. But he's going to be at a size disadvantage against the guy that most recently competed at cruiserweight.
Pero versus Thompson. 10 rounds for the WBA Continental Heavyweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing in association with Box Lab Promotions, live on DAZN from Orlando, Florida.
Well, there's nothing like some good heavyweight action. I think we're going to have a good one in that main event. Joined by a guy that's going to be fighting in the undercard, the co-main event. Amari Jones back in Orlando, second fight here as a pro. Are you going to be rocking the Magic gear for Magic got a win Thursday night, so you going to be rocking some Magic gear on fight night?
Right, they did. This one going to be a surprise, so I feel like they're going to be in for a surprise for this outfit, but I'm going to put on the show like I always do.
All right, 4 fights into your professional career. How happy are you with the progress that you've made?
I'm very happy. Me and Eddie Hearn, we talked about the plan. Me and my team, my coach, we talked about the plan from the beginning when I turned professional, and we're pretty much on track. 4 fights, and 2 other fights are in my hometown of Orlando, Florida, so this is special.
You know, one thing that has surprised people at Matchroom a little bit, I know they've talked to you about it, is that your power has really shown up. People knew you could box. You proved that in the Olympics, but you're showing flashes of real knockout potential.
Yes, that's something we work on in the gym, something from translating over from combinations and the amateurs and kind of like the touching to actually sitting down on my punches. And I feel like it's work. The work that we put in the gym is translating over to the fight, so all the work is done.
So you know they're bringing this guy for his durability. You've seen his resume. He's gone the 10-round distance before. When you look at this fight, how do you see it playing out?
Well, when I looked at his past fights, I saw what he could do, and my coach, he picked this guy and Kevin Rooney, the matchmaker, just for his durability. And he's been overseas and fought guys in Russia, went the distance to 10 rounds and other 10 rounds. So I feel like I'll be the first one to stop him. That I want to send a message this time.
You know, some people love fighting at home. Some people hate fighting at home. Some people don't like the pressure of fighting at home. Where do you stand on that?
I love fighting at home. Don't have to travel nowhere, right here. Only 30 minutes up the road. I'm here, so yeah, I'm ready.
Sleep in your own bed?
We're going to sleep at the hotel
tonight. For the most part. Okay, I got you. Lamar, we're looking forward to seeing you in this fight. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, we'll bring in your promoter, Eddie Hearn's probably going to talk some more about you there as well. A lot to be excited about this young man. Undefeated in his young career. We were just talking about his power. What do you think the pathway is for him? End of 2025, he gets through a fight like this. What do you want 2026 to look like?
More rounds, you know, and just keep learning. He's got the benefit of fighting on all the top shows across America. I think potentially look at bringing him over to the UK, fight him internationally. But, you know, still only a few fights in, and I think this is a good, solid test. This guy's coming to win. I don't expect him to, or I hope not anyway, but I do expect him to give Amari good rounds. I mean, he's a very tough guy. Amari has it all, the technical ability. He looks $1 million. He speaks fantastically well. He's a great role model for his community and boxing in America. So very excited about him. And a man that I believe will win a world championship for the United States and, you know, will be a major star in this country.
And once again, you've got Nishan Dev on the same card as Amari Jones. These two guys have some history in the amateur ranks. Are you hoping to kind of build something that 2-3 years down the line you get a big fight between them?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we have so much talent globally. We saw it recently with even Giorgio Vizioli and Zaquin Moses, like 2 great young lightweight prospects that inevitably, if they reach the heights we expect them to, they will cross paths. And you know, Nishan Dev and Amari have the history in the amateurs. They have some great fights between themselves. Arguments about who should have won, etc., as you'd expect, but also Marco Verdi as well. You know, he's a guy not with Matchroom, but he's a guy that both these guys want to fight and do it quickly as well. You know, I think Nishan Dev is just a superstar in the waiting for Indian boxing and Indian sport. I mean, if this guy can produce the quality we think he can and he can be in those big fights, imagine bringing a big name in the division to India for a world championship fight. It would change the sport forever in that country. So huge audience tuning in to watch Nishan Dev, and important night for both prospects.
All right, Jordan Thompson, 238 pounds, 38-pound gain from his last fight in the cruiserweight division. What have you seen from him this week and how he looks?
Do you know he's there? Violence, he said. Violence. Listen,
okay.
You know, we expected he might come in a few pounds heavier, but looking at him, you know, the one
violence. Just know violence. That's it, baby. Artistic violence. Maybe we're a violent artist now, but one thing I promise you is violence.
You had to make, hold on one second, Jordan. Hold on one second. You had to make that cruiserweight limit. Then you had to do the IBF 10-pound rehydration for the last fight. How much different does this feel?
This is just a blessing, but I'm just grateful. And listen, I ain't one for excuses. It was tough, but we knew it was tough. We rolled the dice. I ain't no stranger for rolling dice. So listen, we out here again. It's another chance. It's another opportunity, but it's one that I'm going to take. It's one that I've got full confidence in myself for. And again, listen, man, God is great all the time.
All right, good luck to you, Jordan. We appreciate it. Eddie, you expecting the same kind of violence?
Yeah, I mean,
Saturday?
actually, you know, before he stood on we have these new platforms now. Am I okay to stand on that? I said, maybe not now, you know. He talked about maybe 240. He was 238. Phenomenal. I mean, Jordan's an unbelievable athlete. And the resilience will be much greater up at heavyweight. You know, don't forget, Pero hasn't been in this kind of situation before. He's headlining. You know, he's got the hype, all the pressure's on. And when those two came head-to-head just a few minutes ago, and they were that far away from each other, I'm thinking this is going to be a hell of a fight. Jordan Thompson is coming to win this fight. He's rolling the dice, but he believes it's a calculated risk. Don't blink in this fight. It won't go past 6 rounds. Impossible. So when you're interviewing me tomorrow night for a 10-round decision, we'll talk about it then. But I cannot see this fight going more than 6 rounds. I mean, Jordan's a sharpshooter, fast. Pero's very skilled. And it's going to be a tough night's work for both men.
Yeah, I think one of these guys is going to land something titanic going.
We love the heavyweight division.
Love the heavyweight division. That is all part of a 5-fight card here on Saturday from the Caribe Royale in Orlando. It all begins with Nishant Dev, the 2024 Olympian. He takes on Juan Carlos Campos. Elvis Gomez, another very good prospect, fighting back down at 154. He takes on Atrevius Ingram. Pat Brown, someone the UK folks are very excited about. He makes his U.S. debut against Felix Valera. We saw Valera give Tristan Kalkreuth some problems his last time out. Can he do it against Pat Brown? Amari Jones trying to pick up another win on that resume as he makes moves in the super welterweight division. He takes on the durable Youssef Matu. And Lenier Pero, Jordan Thompson, you heard it from Eddie Hearn, expect fireworks. Bombs will be thrown in a terrific heavyweight matchup. That all starts tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time from the Caribe Royale, live on DAZN.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready. The fight starts now! Let's go.
How do you like it? So aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this. With a corner knockdown. Still the undisputed champion of the world. Weigh in live on DAZN.
Don't miss the biggest nights in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
To score a goal like that, you could see what it meant to me personally.
Just all to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come in here and give it their all.
Have a real nice tempo. Goes baseline, watch out. Oh!